How you doing, Abigail?
I'm doing pretty good, Arden.
So are you liking the Darth MAGA? So ever since Elon Musk came out with the dark MAGA hats, and since Donald Trump has been on the Undertaker's podcast, he's now using when he comes out to all of his rallies, he now uses the Undertaker's theme song, and that's what that was. In case, as a nerd like me likes to know, I didn't know if you actually knew that.
No, I did not.
So today's a big day. And by the way, welcome to We Are a Crotchety Old Man,
And a woman.
the podcast for you, with you, and sometimes even about you. You know why is today's a big day?
No.
It's my mom's 88th birthday.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Grandma Odd.
Yep, and if she wasn't born, I wouldn't have been born. So it's kind of an important day. So you know what one of her favorite things to eat is?
Deviled eggs.
Yes, and it's National Deviled Egg Day.
Well, that's one thing we have in common because I love deviled eggs.
It's a great thing. So we don't have that much for this day in history. Oh, guess what? Guess who's calling? Hold on. Speaker, you're live with us on the phone.
Hello.
It's my mom. Say hi, Grandma.
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to thank you again.
Okay. By the way, I'm not sure if this is going to pick up, so my mom is thanking us. Can I call you back in maybe about 45 minutes?
I just wanted to say thank you and I did send a quick email
to Abigail.
Yes, to Abigail, but I just wanted to say thank you for your gifts. As you see, Pam actually sent the gifts.
Right.
But I wanted to thank you too for my blender.
Well, we're gonna make bushwhackers when you come down.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to run because you're live on the air, Grandma. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, so everyone now knows that what you got for your birthday. That you got a blender so she can make some mixed drinks.
Looking forward to that special drink that you know how to make.
All right. Well, I love you lots, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so who knew? Hopefully people could hear that. I don't want to restart. We might have to restart the podcast if people didn't, because it'll be very quiet. So anyway, happy birthday. Totally, I'm completely verschimmeled now. So this date in history,
and this would be November 2nd.
Yes. There was a lot of stuff, but you know what? I actually am ignoring all of the political stuff that's on this day in history because I don't care about that stuff. That's ancient history. So we'll start off in 1936. The British Broadcasting Company launched the first ever TV channel.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was not created by an American. It was created by the English. In 1947, Howard Hughes successfully flew the Spruce Goose. Now, there was a lot of controversy about it because it only flew one time. And it cost him over $28 million. And at the time, it was the biggest plane ever made. And he was called before Congress, who wanted their money back because they thought that he was scamming, that he didn't actually build the plane. And he had to prove it would fly. So it was a flying boat, and it was made for the military. The whole idea was it was this huge plane they can land in a lake or on the ocean and just have troops get off. And it did fly, and it was the wings were as large as a football field.
Wow.
So back then it was the biggest plane ever made up until now that we have like those jumbo jets. So the Spruce Goose. 1983. Martin Luther King's birthday was signed into law by President Ronald Reagan. I actually remember signing a petition for it in elementary school. No, I'm sorry, junior high school. Of signing it because I actually really didn't know anything about Martin Luther King. I just wanted a day off. But okay, that was a good one. Abigail is speechless. In the year 2000, the International Space Station got its first occupants, one American and two Russians. Pretty interesting. And that's really it for, thanks to my mom interrupting us. We're not going to go into any more history. But I think we're ready for a little Halloween catch up as now we're a couple days out. What were you, Abigail?
Well, Arden, I was a cat, and I wasn't that thrilled about it because I'm a dog person. But it was a comfy, cozy outfit, and I thought I looked pretty good in it.
She did. She looked really cute and cuddly. I just wanted to give her a hug all the time. And man, did she bitch and moan about having a tail. She was like, the tail is always in the way and yada yada. Oh,
it was.
I was a bulldog. And I got to admit, I think I pulled a bulldog off pretty well. Because if I was a dog, I think I could be a bulldog.
I think so.
Because he's round, he's grumpy. Oh, we just had a little flicker of our lights and everything. Hopefully our power's not going out. That was a little odd. We're still recording now. And let's see. So we went to our friend's house and we handed out candy. And Abigail almost got into a fight with my friend's neighbor. I'll let you explain that story.
Well, this dude did it last year too. Grown man operating one of those battery-powered vehicles, but it must have been, a very expensive one, probably over $1,000, because it would rip down the street, up and down the street. He had this, what was it, like a Jeep? It was a big...
I don't know. It was some kind of 4x4 vehicle.
Yeah, 4x4 vehicle.
And it was big.
Racing it up and down the street. I mean, the kids are trying to do trick-or-treating, and they're for fear that they're going to get knocked over by this freaking vehicle. And the guy just kept it up all night long.
Right. It was like... It was definitely impressive, but I think, and he did it last year too, and my friend whose house we went to, he literally was like, this is the only time of year he does this. It was so strange. It was strange, but we gave out lots of candy. I, as a bulldog, the whole cat and dog, I had a little sign that said, "Don't eat us." Don't eat the doggies and the kitties. As I posted that picture on X. My friends were chips and salsa.
Yes.
That was a good one. But the costumes were pretty good. I mean, the one little kid, I don't know the name of the villain in the Saw movies. I think it's Jigsaw. One of these little kids came up in a red tricycle dressed as it was actually scary in a weird way.
And one girl came as it.
The clown.
The evil clown. Her outfit was perfect.
Right. So that was like the best. That was the best one. The parents didn't really drive up, but it was also the Indian holiday of light. And I apologize, I forgot the name of it offhand. So towards the tail end, we had fireworks going off behind us. So that was actually kind of a good. Had dinner with my friends. Always good to see them. One day we might try to get them on the show, but they always chicken out every time. But they're wordy. We wouldn't be able to shut them up once they started talking. Mm-hmm. So maybe in a couple weeks we'll have them on the show. What else do we got going on?
Well, I mean, it was a pretty sad week when it came to baseball.
It was.
I mean, the New York Yankees go up 5-0. 5-0. And was it the fifth inning?
I think so. Fifth inning. It was hell.
I mean, they were down to 2 outs. They had 1 out to go, and they had 3 errors in the infield. And it was just embarrassing.
It was.
And they lost the freaking game.
And I still have not seen the final out. So to me, it's not over.
But honey, it is.
I don't care. It's not over. I don't care. It's not over. It's not over. Gosh, that sucked.
It did suck because I got my hopes up.
Yeah.
You know, we were going to go to game 5.
Yeah. The only good thing about it, now we can go to bed earlier.
That's true.
Because, staying up to almost midnight every night was
I
getting
know, but
ridiculous.
how many games did they play?
They only played 5.
No, I mean in the regular season.
Oh, 162, but
You
no.
got to get through 162 games just to get to the playoffs.
Then you play.
And then you play and you blow it.
Yep. And the Yankees' best pitcher who made an error. Well, he didn't actually make the error. He made a mental foul. Best pitcher and possibly in baseball. He opted out of his contract. So now the Yankees have to try to sign him. Yeah. Way to go, Cole.
All I know is they should have won game 1.
Yeah. It's over.
But it's over.
It's over.
I guess we're done talking.
No crying over spilled milk. By the way, I would not cry over spilled milk. I probably would be cussing, as they say down here, or dropping F-bombs. Yeah, so that we had that. And did we want to talk about your trip today, or I wrote all over
Yeah, I mean, I had headed down south to go see a friend of mine at Roanoke. And I get off the exit and I see a lot of Trump signs and American flags and a lot of people, and then suddenly I hit a big line of traffic. And it dawned on me that there must have been a Trump rally. And I said to myself, it's just got to be a local gathering. Why would Trump come to Virginia and to a small town? But lo and behold, he was there. And it ended up being a subsidiary of Roanoke called
Salem.
And yeah, so I went ahead and pulled over and went to the rally, and I took some pictures for Arden of the snipers that I could see on the buildings.
And if you could see them, they saw you.
Yeah. So, Arden told me not to do anything stupid.
Because I would probably do something stupid. So I told her not to. And she listened for a change. Or actually, she just used common sense.
Yeah, and, he was as entertaining as he always is. But there was one special part, Arden, that you were able to watch on TV. And what was that about?
Oh, the Roanoke girls swim team. So Salem, that they actually were like the first team that actually had a transgender athlete on the team. Not any longer. They stopped doing that. And now all of the girls, they came on stage. They actually introduced themselves, which is pretty dangerous in this day and age with social media. And they all wore these pink shirts that said it had what looked like a hot dog in between the buns, or people said it was a pickle, but it said like no hot dogs in women's sports or no wieners, whatever, name your appendage if you would like.
100%. I mean, America, this is what this election is all about.
It's all about hot dogs.
It's all about sensibility.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I was watching that volleyball player again, how he broke the one girl's nose. Suppose he did it again. And
she should sue him.
They can't, because it was done by the athletic commission, the NCAA. It was a sanctioned
take that
game.
shit to the Supreme Court.
Well, it's not the athlete. It's not. She could sue the NCAA. I actually learned one little thing about girls volleyball, and I got to be very quick with this. That the men's net is 7 inches higher than the women's net. So here you got a guy who's been playing all of his life with a much taller net. No wonder he could slam it into a girl's face.
Well, she should sue the NCAA.
She should. She should. And now all of the teams that play that team are all. They're all forfeiting.
Where are all the feminists?
I have no idea.
Wouldn't you think AOC would have an issue with that?
Oh, she could care less. She loves it. She's in New York. She can't. But I mean, and Billie Jean King and, Martina, she came out. Martina Navratilova, she came out against it.
I'm impressed you said her name right.
Yes, I've not been drinking. The only thing I've been drinking as of right now is a delicious cup of what did I have? I got caramel cappuccino, the best caramel cappuccino you can have in a basement. Thank you. Yes, we will be trying to possibly create our own basement coffee pretty soon if you want to have some with us. Yeah, so that was just nuts at the rally. I was like, but Trump had the ladies on. Each one of them said hello. It was really nice. And this brought up our theme song with the Darth MAGA part. So ever since then, he now comes out to that entrance music, which is really strange because then after that they play the "Proud to Be an American" right after. It's just strange, like
God bless the USA.
God bless the USA. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just pretty amazing. So you go with the Undertaker's theme music. I mean, we're having this whole mix of things going on at every one of these rallies. And you were fascinated by one rally, weren't you? What happened after the rally? What did Trump do?
Oh, okay, yeah. The garbage truck.
The garbage truck. What
I
did he
mean,
say? Oh, whoa.
I mean, I'll give you a little clip.
3 million people are not garbage. I can tell you who the real garbage is, but we won't say that.
Oh, wow. That was
I
amazing.
watched a 7-minute clip of him saying that and going into the garbage truck and having a mini press conference. And at the end, he just said, "How do you like my garbage truck?" It was hysterical. I was laughing out loud.
Did you see the rally after?
No.
Oh my, he was like a stand-up comedian
Oh, yeah.
because he was like, I had to get up. I had to get up into the garbage truck because I knew the mainstream media would say that I was physically and mentally compromised and I gotta get up. So I got that adrenaline and I got up there and I did it because and he goes, and meanwhile he had Brett Favre next to him and he's like, I'm not like this athlete over here, Brett Favre, who's a lot bigger in person. I mean, like, he went on and on about the garbage truck.
Why not? It was beautiful. It was white.
It was a beautiful garbage truck.
Yes, it was beautiful.
It was how did he do that in one day's turnaround?
Oh, if you're Donald Trump, you can get anything done.
And have you seen what people are now taking with that? I mean, there are a lot of people dressing up in garbage bags and wearing Trump hats for trick or treating. But the new one is people are now voting in trash bags because you cannot go and vote wearing a Trump hat or anything else like that. So people are showing up as trash bags. And I'm watching this one lady who she actually was recording while she was walking in, and people were asking her why she wearing garbage bag, and other people were wearing garbage bags around her. And she's like, yeah, and this is this one lady, she was black. And I only say that because she goes, why are none of these white women get it? They just don't get it. She goes, I'm in a very liberal area, and all the liberal white women have no clue why we're wearing garbage bags. And she goes, Google it. Just Google it. Yeah, so they're voting in trash bags, which I think is awesome. I would have done that, but I voted like a month ago.
Well, we have an update from last week when we talked about Glenn Youngkin, the governor of Virginia, was battling the courts. Actually, not the court.
It went to the Supreme Court.
It did go to the Supreme Court, but it was Biden's
the DOJ.
DOJ that wanted to withhold him from purging the voter rolls for non-citizens. Well, the Supreme Court came out and it was a victory for Youngkin. And those, I think it was at least 1,600 came off the rolls.
Yeah, which
now,
is
why
amazing.
would Democrats have a problem with that?
They want everyone to vote. A lot of, I keep saying ultra libs. A lot of liberals believe everyone who lives in this country should be allowed to vote, point blank. Doesn't matter if you're a citizen, non-citizen. A lot of them do believe that.
Okay, well, let's talk about what happened in Michigan.
A lot of things are going on in Michigan.
I know, a lot of shenanigans.
Yep.
But essentially, a college student from China voted in the election illegally, and he actually turned himself in. He came back to the voting poll and he asked for his vote back. And unfortunately, they can't do that. And now he's facing charges, as he very well should be. If he's here on a visa going to college, he should be no better than that. So my point to you, Arden, is this only got caught because he turned himself in.
Right, he voluntarily.
Imagine how many more there are like that.
And people voting twice. I mean, I am gotten a little too addicted to X. So like they have videos of people going, like of one guy walking into a post office with a box of ballots. This is and it was after I'm sorry, it wasn't the post office. It was actually where the votes were, and it was after hours. And he walked in with a whole box.
Right.
But they have the person on camera, so if there's any shenanigans, they now know who that person is. But it's just
All I
nuts.
know is Tuesday night is the Super Bowls for me. I can't wait, and I'll be up all night.
Hey, now, have you seen the newest star of that the Republicans are jumping on for a rally?
No.
It's a squirrel.
Oh.
Have you seen this at all?
No.
Okay, so a really sad story in New York, not New York City, but there was a social media guy who had a squirrel named Peanut, and he would take videos of Peanut, and he also had a raccoon named Fred, and he's raised them, he took them. Well, a person that was not mentioned in the article or online called in and said that this guy has two animals that are not pets. And so the Department of Environmental Conservation came and took Peanut and Fred away, and both were euthanized. So uh, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, JFK, all of these Republicans are now jumping on the bandwagon with this squirrel, saying this is the government overreach in this country. That they are, we will stand for the squirrels. So not just the cats and the dogs, but now the squirrels. We have to keep them safe too. I mean, it just plays with animals, animal lovers. And it was sad. It was very sad. So do we have anything
So
else?
I have my most annoying ad out of
Oh.
the Harris camp.
Okay.
And that's the one with Julia Roberts saying that essentially there's no other place where a woman has a choice except the ballot box. Now,
Right.
They're stressing the abortion angle.
Of course.
But Arden, how can anyone say that there's no place for a woman to have a choice in this country?
Right. She has a choice every day.
We have lots of choices.
You have every single day you have a choice.
Yeah, I mean, go to another country
Mm-hmm.
and tell me how much women get to choose in other countries.
Yeah, go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, not much,
Yeah.
not much.
Yeah.
But anyway, what stays in the booth stays in the booth, or whatever the hell she said.
Right.
It's annoying.
And George Clooney with his telling it that men can vote for a woman. Of course they can. But it's like men are afraid to vote. Yeah. If Margaret Thatcher ran for the Republican Party, I would vote for her in a second. I mean, it's not that we're afraid. We would want someone qualified. That's all we care about. Someone qualified. And by the way, going back to the whole abortion issue, I actually listened to, I don't know if it was Charlie Kirk, but he goes, okay, let's just say abortion on demand, anything you want. How does that help the country after that? What's the next issue? Are we still going to be possibly getting into World War III? Yes. Is the economy still going to suck? Yes. So congratulations. You can have an abortion up until the day, maybe even after. Those terrible twos, who cares? But what about how are you going to pay for all the food in your house? How are you going to get a job after that ridiculous job report yesterday? It doesn't help any other. It's a one issue. And if you're only voting for one issue, that might be almost as like one of the worst because the rest of the country will still suffer.
Yeah.
So that was.
So I
that was me
assume
getting
though
all
that on
angry.
election day they can't do rallies.
Some do, but usually very small rallies because they are usually local.
Mm.
Trump may not be in Florida, but he might be in DC, depending on where the party is, or where Kamala might be wherever her party. I don't know where she is. I mean, she's the VP, so I don't know. Is she would go back into San Francisco and party? I have no
I don't
idea.
know.
Anyway, so as far as time goes, I think we have just enough time to do true and false. Because I didn't start this because my mom called right in the middle, so I had to start it again. So we're doing true false on squirrels. Because Abigail said she likes squirrels.
I do, but I don't know that I can go through true false, but we'll give it a go.
Okay, so here we go. True or false? There are over 250 species of squirrels.
True.
That is true. In fact, it's over 270 different species.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 2, the Eastern American gray squirrel is an invasive species in the United Kingdom that must be killed on sight. That is true. It's actually putting their red squirrel, they're dying off. Number 3, following up on that one, Australia does not have native squirrels. That is true. Wow, we got a pattern of truths here. Number 4, the largest squirrel is over 4 feet long.
False.
That is false. Do you know how big the largest squirrels are?
I would say maybe 16 to 18 inches.
3.5 feet.
Wow.
The Indian giant squirrel and the Chinese red flying squirrel.
Wow.
Are prairie dogs in the squirrels family?
No.
That is true. That's your first one wrong. The word squirrel, the word covea is Greek. Was this word? I'm sorry, I'm ruining this question. The Greek word covea is where we got the word means squirrel.
True.
Sadly, it's false. I ruined that, so you can get credit for it. Covea is actually a rabbit. If I'd said it right, you would have gotten it. Squirrels will always run to vegetation to get away from prey.
True.
False.
Damn.
They actually run in zigzag patterns. They will not always run to the closest tree. They will actually run.
Zigzagging,
They will
like
zigzag left
like
and
we
right.
had when the shooters went
Yeah,
down.
and we also learned that that's how dogs like to run because they chase animals like squirrels. Okay, number 8. Then this is kind of follow up. Wierto Willie, the Canadian groundhog, kind of like our Punxsutawney Phil, is right only 37% of the time. That is true. So when he sees a shadow, he's probably lying. Okay. Number 9. Flying squirrels can glide over a mile.
No, false.
That is false. They get up to 100 yards. And by the way, groundhogs are actually in the squirrel family. Who knew? And the final one, in the 1850s, New York introduced squirrels to Central Park.
True.
That is true because of all the buildings, all of the squirrels left. And as a bonus,
I did
useless
the same, 70%.
bonus question, squirrels are actually integral to a forest growing. It's a bonus, so if you get it wrong, you don't count it.
False.
It is true because they bury nuts and they lose at least 25% of the nuts they buried, which grow into new trees. So if you have a forest, you absolutely must have squirrels. And so with that, do you have anything to help us today?
Yes.
To wrap it up?
Everyone needs to go vote. Every vote counts.
And please follow us on it's at Crotchety Old Men on X. And I saw that we actually had some really good numbers last week as far as being international again. So if you like our show, share it, tell people about it, get back to us, reach out to us because we want you to join us. Hey, we'll do that. We don't mind. I know Abigail would much rather talk to other people than me sometimes, so I think it'd be fun. But anyway, hopefully this worked. For Abigail, you want to say goodbye while I play the music if I can figure out how?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for all our listeners, and we hope you enjoyed the podcast. And just remember to go vote, and I think we're all praying.
Yep, and next week I might be dropping a lot of F-bombs for the first time on the show. I have not done that because Abigail won't let me. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Would help if I put the volume on. Whoa, too much volume. Who taught me how to operate things? Have a great day, everyone.